Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the track, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Paul Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stutzel across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go. Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brendan Plant, and I'm your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the New York Rangers as they look to win back-to-back games and spoil the party in New York. While Ottawa has won their last 3 out of 4 at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers have a lot to play for tonight. With a win in any fashion, the Rangers would secure the President's Trophy as the best team in the National Hockey League for the regular season. So obviously, that is great for playoff seeding. They would have home ice advantage in any situation in the playoffs, so a win that the Rangers certainly want. While going into this game, Ottawa had a few lineup changes. Firstly, Tim Stützle remains out of the lineup. I have a lot of doubt that he'll be in the lineup for tomorrow's game against Boston. It's more likely than not that he's going to be done for the year. He was skating this morning, but in a non-contact jersey. So I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. Frankly, there's no reason to play him tomorrow to further risk an injury. So he's likely out for the rest of the year. He did not play today. While Jonas Korpisalo started for Ottawa, looking to build off of a strong performance as of late in the net. While for Ottawa overall, there's a couple other lineup changes, a lot to talk about. Firstly, Zach Ossipchuk was recalled. But due to the fact that Ottawa has already used their 4 call-ups, he would only be available on an emergency basis. So he would not draw into the lineup today. Riley Gregg, who is questionable, would ultimately draw into the lineup. While Mark Kaslick would not be in the lineup after dealing with a headshot in the last game. So he would be out while Zach McEwen draws onto the 4th line to center that line. Now, speaking of that 4th line, here's a good segue. Boko Imama and Matt Rempe. Now, you all know Matt Rempe, I'm sure, especially if you're a Ranger fan watching this. Rempe is, I'll call him like the young Sean Avery, just less flamboyant, I should say. He, when he came into the league about a month or 2 ago, was fighting everyone he could. And as of late, he's been told to calm down. But you know what? Him and Boko Imama had a conversation at center ice during the warm-ups. That usually indicates when, 2 fighters are talking at warm-ups, they're going to fight, right? And, Boko and Rempe have a history together. They fought a couple times in the AHL, and Boko, let's just say, got the better of both of those fights. Rempe kind of got schooled, to be honest, in both of those. And that's no disrespect to Rempe, good fighter, but Boko Imama, of course, a fantastic fighter as well. So when Boko was trying to fight, Matt Rempe early on in the game, and Ranger fans were all in my mentions, talking about this moment and disagreeing with my take on it. But I was a little surprised. I mean, people, especially particularly Ranger fans, are saying that, you can see on your screen now, that Rempe didn't fight because he didn't feel like he had to answer to the hit to McEwen there. And I agree. I don't think that was a hit that Rempe would have to fight for. But the fact that, Boko Imama and Rempe spoke about it at warm-up on center ice, they have a history together, and literally that's the role of both of these players. I'm kind of shocked that Rempe ducked Boko Imama. I don't know if he's scared of him or not after those 2 fights. I don't know. But, I think Rempe is a great player, and it was pretty disappointing to see a very good fighter like Rempe not fight a guy like Boko Imama. I don't care where you are in the standings. I saw, some Ranger fans and some pundits and some writers, quote tweet me and stuff saying that, the Rangers, they're very, very much in a playoff spot. The Sens are very much not in a playoff spot. This game doesn't matter, yada, yada, yada. Guess what? The game does matter. President's Trophy on the line. Get some emotion into that building. That's your role. That's your role as an enforcer. So, I was a little surprised. I was kind of looking forward to that fight when I saw that in warm-ups, but c'est la vie, that's the way it goes. Tkachuk would also challenge Matt Rempe, but he certainly listened to his coach, would not drop the gloves against El Capitano as well. So let's get into the game. I just wanted to talk about that early on because let's just say there's not much else to talk about if you're a Sens fan. And, we saw last year Trouba and Tkachuk going at it 1v1. The captains fighting at center ice at MSG. Frankly, one of the more electric moments I've ever seen in modern Sens history. So MSG was electric again tonight, so definitely would have been cool. So anyways, let's get into the game. And, at least they didn't score on the first shot or 2, but the Rangers would open up the lead 1-0. Jack Roslovic on a 2-1 off a bad Zub turnover and pinch. The Sens can't recover. Roslovic puts the glove side past Korpisalo. Not really sure what you want there from Jonas Korpisalo, who was fantastic today, to be honest with you. We'll talk about that in the post-game notes, but the Rangers would strike first in the first period of play. They go up by 1 going into the second. Ottawa played fine in that first period, had some good opportunities, but Jonas Korpisalo, especially early on, was peppered with shots. He made some big stops to keep Ottawa in it and to keep them fighting. But we go to the second period of play, and the Rangers, I mean, there's a reason the Rangers are, on the cusp of winning the President's Trophy as the best team in the regular season. There's a very good reason for that. It's because they're a fantastic team. We see that here as Adam Fox, my boy, I love Adam Fox, puts home a 2-1 on the shorthanded goal. The Sens lose a board battle. Jacob Chikrin with a poor pinch, and the Rangers strike shorthanded. They go up by 2 after 2 periods. Mika Zibanejad, of course, with the assist, because why not? And this is a nice goal. I love Adam Fox, can't lie with you. Just wish it wasn't against Ottawa. He was scoring. That's his 72nd point this year as well, which I believe ties a career high for him. And then he got another point in the third period, which we'll talk about in a second. But what a team this Ranger team is. I mean, unbelievable. If you're a Sens fan watching this, you just got to envy what the Rangers got. They got such an elite forward group, which, I'll be honest, we have a decent forward group ourselves, but that forward group is elite. We don't have a guy like Artemi Panarin, of course. I mean, they were chanting MVP for this guy, and understandably so. He's elite. And any other year, he's a slam dunk MVP guy, but, there's so much competition this year, I don't know if we'll get it. But that's a model organization. I mean, they got such a fantastic lineup throughout. Blue line, forwards, goaltending especially. And obviously, it's easier said than done. They get a guy like Panarin. They get a guy like Igor Shesterkin. Adam Fox. I understand that. And we have pieces that can form into a team similar to the Rangers. But the depth that they have, the coaching, the structure, everything, they're a fantastic team. And there's a reason why they're running up the score against Ottawa. And they would continue to do that in the third period of play. Is Artemi Panarin, the bread man, 49 goals on the year, tips one past Korpisalo and in. Pretty good. Shout out to Larry David. From Curb Your Enthusiasm this year.
Hey, how about the way Breadman's playing? The way he controls that puck, it's really amazing.
I mean, the Breadman is magic. I can't lie with you. I gotta agree with Larry David on this one. Shout out to Curb Your Enthusiasm, by the way. Great show. But yeah, I mean, he's such a dog. It's unbelievable. Once again, if it wasn't for the insane year that McDavid and, of course, McKinnon and Kucherov are having, slam dunk MVP. But the competition is, frankly, the most fierce I've ever seen for a Hart race. But Panarin with his 49th, a great tip in the slot. They make it 3-0, and then the Rangers would make it 4-0. Panarin with an assist again. Lafreniere with the one-time shot. As the Rangers will take this one 4-0 over the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa is shut out for the third time in their last 7 games. Hey, what do you even say? What do I even say at this point? You know what I mean? Like, what do I even say that you haven't heard? I mean, Korpisalo was fine today. I think he actually played very well considering, the final score. But, you lose the board battles. You give up goals in the slot. The defensemen are pinching in too much. The forwards aren't back checking. And, yeah, goaltending was fine today. But just so many issues. And, I know the Rangers are fantastic. I know it's game 81. We're far out of a playoff spot. Obviously already eliminated. Nothing matters, really. But, I mean, firstly, it should be illegal. It should be illegal to get shut out in a meaningless game when you're making the fans like myself and you and other people sit for 3 hours and watch this team without scoring. That has to be illegal. Can't have it. Gary, get on it. There has to be a new rule put into place because we cannot allow this to happen again, especially tomorrow against Boston. But yeah, once again, it is terrible to see us get kind of slapped around like this, but ultimately, it's best for the tank, which we'll be talking about in a second. Let's just say we'll do the tankathon in a minute or two. But I'm looking at the stats, and once again, considering Norris and Stützle and Mark Kaslik are out of the lineup, Ottawa today won the faceoff battle. This is like the third or fourth game in a row they've won the faceoff battle with a severely depleted center core. It's very impressive, I'll be honest with you. Frankly, one of the only impressive things for the Ottawa Senators as of late. They won 53% of the faceoffs to the Rangers 47. Other than that, the Rangers dominated in every aspect of the game. Ottawa would have 3 power plays. They would score on none of them, of course, but the Rangers would end up scoring on one of those, so that tells you how things went tonight for Ottawa. And, last thing I'll mention, by the way, TSN put out the stat before I talk about, Jonas Korpisalo and some individual stats, is the fact that the Sens obviously shut out for the third time in their last 7 games, but in the month of April, they've been held to a lead for 1 minute. 1 minute. 60 seconds. That is all the Ottawa Senators have had with the lead this month. 60 seconds they've had the lead. I mean, what the hell? What do you even say about that? That is absolutely mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know how to, respond to that. Other than the fact that this team has clearly mailed it in, and there are some severe changes needed with this organization, whether that is with a proper head coach, whether that is with some proper depth throughout the lineup, and most importantly, with some consistent goaltending for a change. But I mean, that is just unbelievable. When you're missing a guy like Norris and Stützle, that does make sense, but still, it's jarring to look at. It really, really is, especially considering the fact that we haven't scored in 3 of our last 7 games. So, what a dismal way to end the year, but hey, you never know. Tomorrow in Boston, or Beantown, I should say, hopefully Ottawa can bounce back and finish off the season on a strong note, because frankly, I'm going to be watching the game anyways. I'd like it for it to be entertaining. So Jonas Korpisalo tonight was far from the problem, even though the stats are not exactly the most impressive. 882 save percentage on 34 shots. He made 30 saves. Frankly, all 4 of those goals, not on him. Defensive breakdowns out front, losses of board battles, etc. So cannot blame Korpisalo for this one. And just taking a look at the stats right now in terms of individual players, I thought Jacob Bernard-Docker actually had a decent game. 3 hits, 2 blocks, just under 17 minutes of ice time, 2 shots on goal as well. He looked pretty stable in the defensive zone, had a couple of good offensive looks as well. In a game where Ottawa, of course, didn't score, frankly didn't get much on, Igor Shesterkin. They just had under 30 shots in this game. But, they didn't really have many high-danger opportunities. I thought JBD looked pretty decent overall. I really liked his game this year. He's really settled in, of course. Noah Luden, friend of the show, vice president of Sens Talk, my best friend. Big fan of JBD. He leads the team in blocks as well. So he's, really grown on me this year. Of course, a friend of the show as well, which we'd love to see. But, another decent game for him. So I wanted to give him a bit of a tip of the cap because otherwise not really much else to talk about for your Ottawa Senators tonight. Now, the last thing I'll mention before we do the tankathon is Boko Imama would get hurt, would not return for that third period of play with an upper body injury, which is really unfortunate to see. Hopefully he is good to go for tomorrow. If not, expect Zach Ossipchuk to draw into the lineup. And with that, let's jump into the tankathon as we have 1 game left in the year. We are 1 point behind Montreal for, that 5th spot in the draft lottery. They blew it to Detroit today. Montreal, you had one job. They blew it to Montreal. They were up 4-1, and you know how it is when you're up 4-1 in the National Hockey League. Detroit will come back. Lucas Raymond, absolute dog. I can't even lie with you. So yeah, the Detroit Red Wings are still alive. By the way, the Penguins also won. The Capitals also won. And the Islanders clinched. So the Eastern Conference playoff race is really, really heating up. But that's enough rambling about playoff teams because we are not involved in that. We are involved in the tankathon. So let's begin our spin here for the tankathon. Here we go. Of course, Montreal wins the first draw. Second draw. Damn you, Chicago. And third draw. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all watching. We didn't win on the ice or off the ice, but hey, tomorrow is a new day. So besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see you all tomorrow night for game number 82 of this season for your Ottawa Senators. Hopefully, it'll be much more entertaining. Besides that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.